Hey everybody, what's going on? Good morning. It is Wednesday, so we've got another mock draft on deck here. I know you guys like the mock drafts. I know that even in a year like this where we don't have a lot of picks, the picks aren't that good, and the draft itself is not that good. Mock drafts are still going to be compelling conversation pieces, and we're going to be doing 9.0 today. So this is our ninth mock draft of this cycle. And now that the combine is in the rearview mirror, we have a pretty clear-eyed view of what is going on. And I think we have a pretty deep understanding of what these players represent. So 9.0, again, only got the 4 picks. Only 3 of them are really of notable value. So I understand that there's not going to be a lot to talk about, but let's get to what we can here. Again, no trades. I'm not really messing around with trades yet. And really, I am trying to still explore the space, but I am starting to zero in on the things that I like. So 9.0, first pick is going to be cornerback Chris Johnson from San Diego State. I do think that things are starting to take shape in the offseason, even though it hasn't technically started yet, where it feels like this Seahawks team is going to be able to handle a lot of their needs in free agency. But I think that they will need to draft a corner. Even if they sign a veteran corner, I think they're going to need to draft a corner as well. There's not going to be much of a want to or would like to. No, this is kind of a need. This is something that you need to push on. And Chris Johnson, post combine, I think will probably be picked around 32. I think he had a good combine, good speed, good explosiveness. He's great for zone. He's going to be an amazing zone corner in the NFL. Got great instincts, great tackler. He's kind of the perfect fit, it feels like. He's just about everything that you could want in this defense, in my mind. He is everything that you could want if you're trying to find a way to replace Woolen, because you're never going to replace Woolen by getting somebody as good in coverage as Woolen. You need to replace him by finding somebody who's better at the things that Woolen struggles with, like run support, like tackling, and also I think just general focus. So Chris Johnson won't be as good in coverage, but I think that he can make up for it in other ways. So he's a guy who, by the way, might be ready to start day one. I don't know if he will, I don't know if he should, but he's a guy who I could see hitting the ground running more or less. So Chris Johnson is my first round pick. Pretty happy with that. Our second round guy is another guy who really turned heads at the combine and got a lot of people's attention. Malachi Lawrence, the edge from the UCF. I believe they are the Knights. Yeah, this guy had an awesome combine. He went in there. He's over 250, but he moves like a smaller guy. He had a really good 40. He's explosive. He's got good quickness. He tested really well. He was one of the best testing edges in this draft, and he's got great arm length as well. This is, to me, a great edge for what Mike McDonald is going to want defensively. I can see Lawrence being a great all-around edge. I can see him being good against the run and also an effective pass rusher. So I think if you get Malachi Lawrence, yes, it's a mistake to lean too heavily on him as a rookie. It pretty much always is with these rookie edges. You are going to want to have him be like the fourth man or maybe even fifth man in a rotation. But understand that Malachi Lawrence brings immense ability to the table. The main reason why he's being held back right now is the fact that he played at UCF and he didn't have great production. There is, I guess, a little bit to be concerned about as it pertains to the combine being the main thing that is getting him attention right now, but this one just fits to me, man. And to me, the setup allows for him to maybe be better than his draft slot. There's not going to be a lot of opportunities to get a guy like a Malachi Lawrence in this draft unless you're picking very high. Malachi Lawrence could end up being a first round caliber player that you get in the second because of circumstance. So I'm all over that. I'm trying to take some big swings here. And I'm definitely planning for this Seahawks team to sign guys in free agency. So if Lawrence doesn't do much as a rookie, it doesn't hurt the team. Third round, we're going with running back here, another position where I think the Seahawks are going to stack up in free agency. But Nick Singleton can play. This guy's going to be a good running back in this league. He's a good power back. He's got good size. He has underrated speed as well. I think he's got enough speed to get to the outside and outside zone. He's got a little bit of elusiveness. The main issue with him is, again, not huge production in college. And there are a couple different reasons why. Obviously, he's injured right now. You do have to have your guard up a little bit with him, but that's why you take care of this issue in free agency and you don't expect Singleton to be 1,000-yard guy as a rookie. So you get Nick Singleton. Maybe he's your third running back. Maybe you have a three-headed monster in the backfield and he's running back 3 and he's given the opportunity to learn this league and get to a point where he can be maybe a number 2 back. I don't know if he'll ever be a number 1, but I do think there's more upside here than with a lot of running backs in this class. I think there's a lot of all-around ability here, and he could even be a bell cow. I do think there is a world where he maybe becomes a bell cow because he can take a significant load of carries without getting injured because of his size. I don't think it's likely, but I do think there is that kind of upside there. Whereas with some of the other running backs in this class, I don't see that same upside. I don't see it with Jonah Coleman necessarily. I don't see it so much with Katron Allen. When I look at Singleton, I see a guy who could be better than we're thinking right now. Okay, so those are my top 3 picks, and those are the important ones, right? And by the way, kind of interesting, right? Chris Johnson, big combine performance. Lawrence, same thing. Singleton did not do anything at the combine because he's hurt. So it's a mix of guys who helped themselves at the combine and a guy who didn't do anything at the combine. 6th rounder there, though, we're going with another guy who helped his case at the combine, Caleb Elarm Orr, linebacker from TCU. And I don't know if Elarm's Orr is ever going to be an NFL caliber linebacker, but I think he'll be a weapon on special teams because he's got tremendous speed and agility. I think he will be a big problem on special teams. He's not small for a linebacker, by the way. He's running a sub 4.5 40 at like 235 pounds or something like that. So he's got the size and he's got the speed. So if you can coach him up into being a good linebacker, that's awesome. But even just as like a special team weapon, I think he's going to be something pretty real. So Caleb Elarms Orr is my 6th round pick, and I mean that's it. So cornerback, edge, running back, linebacker, I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, a little bit disappointing that you can't address certain things like maybe safety, maybe interior offensive line, but to me, these are the primary areas this team needs to hit. Got to come away with a corner, probably need to get an edge, probably need to get a running back. And to me, Elarms, or I'm not even really thinking about him as a linebacker. I'm more thinking of him as a special teamer. So whatever happens there defensively is fine. I just want him on special teams. Okay, so that's it for Mock Draft 9.0. Again, we go through these quickly because we only have 4 picks, but let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. Everybody have a good rest of your day. And yep, more stuff coming soon.